since Tears of the Kingdom came out, I've been thinking, man, is this going to be the best-selling game of all time? And then I went down the list, thought about Tetris, and I thought about Mario Bros, and I thought about all these classics. There's no way Tears of the Kingdom has a chance. But that's not the question. The question is, what are the best-selling games of all time? And today we're going to find out, thanks to Scott the Woz.
Hey all, Scott here. I went to a psychic and found out I'm gonna die someday.
Scott loves making jokes about his own mortality, or mortality in general. I recently discovered that I'm going to die soon, and picturing my own coffin, I decided to make this video about video games.
It is a bitch getting funding for this. As the video game industry grows, so do sales expectations. Sometimes they're reasonable, sometimes they're Capcom expecting Resident Evil 7 to sell 4 million copies at launch.
I'm realizing watching this, I have no idea what good sales numbers are for a video game. Like, is 4 million a lot?
What makes publishers so confident in these ludicrous predictions? Probably WePlay selling 28 million.
28 million? WePlay sold 28 million? I've never even heard of this game.
The list that all games strive to break into, the best-selling games of all time. Let's take a look at the top 15 as of 2018 and see if I can deduce why everybody refused to stop buying copies of these things. Now keep in mind, these are the best-selling games based on confirmed sales.
Is that Overwatch?
Numbers and actual copies sold. No exclusively free-to-play games for us here.
Oh, I was just about to ask if free-to-play was gonna be on there. The Fortnite is probably the #1 game if you're talking about downloads. Is there any other free-to-play game? Maybe like Genshin Impact or something, but probably not.
If it was fully confirmed by Blizzard how many copies the game sold, I'm pretty sure it would be on the list.
I think it's crazy that they ever sold Overwatch. It's wild to me. It's just a sign that it was released in such a different time, you know what I mean? Like, because any game like this now, like Apex or Fortnite or Warzone or any of that, it's all free to play. I guess this was released back in the day where you could still sell games like that. But then you think about Hearthstone. Hearthstone came out before Overwatch, and they gave that away for free. I don't know where they got off selling Overwatch. Whatever. In conclusion, Blizzard.
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, a game also known as Scott's favorite Grand Theft Auto, is my favorite Grand Theft Auto. I'm not gonna analyze what makes it
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I was young when this game came out and I wanted to play it so bad. This had the hot coffee mod. This had so much marketing behind it and hype around it. It was kind of crazy. This was a wild time. This was when I used to watch a lot of G4 too. So you had all the news about it on G4 at all times. The gaming network, if for those of you out there in Zoomerville.
The second best-selling entry in the franchise, moving a whopping 27 million plus copies. Now,
oh, spoiler alert, second best-selling one in the franchise. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 has got to be the best-selling, right? Because it's been out for like 15 years at this point.
Why did San Andreas do so well?
27.5 million, golly! And that's from 2011 because they probably sold more.
San Andreas was the last of the three to release in 2004. It was a ripe time to release as the developers really knew the hardware they were working with by this point.
It's so interesting to release later in a console. So if you release early, you can sell more based off the hype of the console, but you can do less with the console. So if you sell later, you can do more for the game. And then also if you release later, more people have the console so that more people have the ability to buy the game.
Plus, 2004 was the peak of the consoles at the time, having a big enough active install base, but being far away enough from the launch of the next generation systems.
Big enough active install base, but far enough away from the launch of the next generation. That makes sense. He said it way better than me. It's almost like he wrote the video.
Either that or was the sex minigame. I don't think people flocked
the sex minigame. Like I said, hot coffee mod.
To stores screaming, "Where's your San Andreas aisle?" because of the hot coffee mod or anything, but the abundance of media coverage on the topic definitely gave the game more of a spotlight.
That's what I've been saying. It's almost like I lived through this.
When the Wii launched, people were saying, "This is great and all, but I can't ride a cow yet."
How? I've never seen this game before in my life. What is WePlay? What is this? How have I never seen this? It's not Wii Sports Resort. It's what?
WePlay is a title every Wii owner has swapped spit with at some point. It's a bit of a companion title to Wii Sports.
I guess I never owned a Wii, so probably why I never swapped spit with this thing.
That game showcased the Wii Remote's capabilities in terms of motion control, while WePlay focused a bit more on using the pointer functionality. But really though, why did it sell 28 million plus copies?
What the?
Well, it was 50 bucks.
What is this game? Okay, the ping pong is kind of hype.
28 million plus copies. Well, it was 50 bucks.
This game looks hype though. The ping pong looks really hype.
And it came with a Wii remote bundled in, which usually costs $40. It was a no-brainer for Wii owners to pick this game. Might as well. You nab a second Wii remote, and for only 10 extra bones, you get a game thrown in as well. But WePlay was bundled with the Wii remote.
This cow riding, I must play it. I must get the world record in this. Maybe I should speedrun this game. That'd be a fun speedrun.
This is one of the few, if not the only title on the list that wasn't bundled with a console.
It's crazy that Nintendo did the Wii with Duck Hunt back in the Super Nintendo days. Then they just resold Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt's one of my favorite titles of
Oh, speak of the devil! I swear I didn't know this was in this.
You use the NES Zapper to kill 1 duck at a time, 2 ducks at a time, or clay pigeons if you're feeling extra not murdery. If you fail to pop a duck, you get the first true instance of cyberbullying. But that didn't stop it from selling
I hate that fucking dog.
a whopping 28 million plus copies. Duck Hunt contracted the dreaded Pack-In syndrome, and believe me, this ain't the last time we'll see of it on this list. Many people love this game, yes, but it sold so well because it was packed in with the NES the majority of its life.
Oh, I was gonna say, I cannot believe this game with its own peripheral. Like, if they sold this separately, it would be a really expensive game, right? Because it comes with the gun.
Pack-In titles laugh in the face of what being on the best-selling games list really means, because you don't know how many people own the game because they actually wanted to play it and because it's legitimately good, and how many people own it just because it came with the console. Also, Duck Hunt shared a cartridge with Super Mario Bros. Bundled in with NES systems.
Oh! Okay. That's not even fair then. On the same cartridge as Super Mario Bros?
The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim has already sold over 30 million plus copies, and it doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon.
Mods have done so much for Skyrim. It's insane. Mods have single-handedly kept this game relevant for a decade. Vanilla Skyrim is fun, and it had expansions, don't get me wrong, they were good. But if there weren't mods, nobody would have played this game more than a couple years after it came out.
Alright, New Super Mario Bros. Wii is still pretty good in the grand scheme of things, especially considering it was only the second New Super Mario Bros. Game at this point.
Oh, only the second one.
The series definitely hadn't reached pure fatigue yet.
Does Mario have no shame recreating their first stage over and over and over? Probably the most valuable first level of a video game ever created is Mario 1-1.
And 30 million. It did insanely well. To be fair, Pack-In syndrome somewhat strikes again, but it was only with select bundles. New Mario Wii wasn't a consistent pack-in with the Wii.
Yeah, when you're right next to Wii Sports, I feel like that's a pretty big deal. But I guess not that many people bought the 25th anniversary Mario bundle.
But what other game is more suited to outdo New Super Mario Bros. Than New Super Mario Bros.? New Super Mario Bros.
Wow, a DS game. Whoa, that's kind of shocking. I didn't expect there to be any handhelds on here. I feel like handhelds just sell worse than home consoles.
Brothers was a revolution in the field of just doing the same thing again. It ushered in the era of retro revivals and showed just how much people still love 2D games. And they loved it a lot, considering much like its Wii...
Golly, this game looks like shit.
The Nintendo DS, much like the Wii, catered to everybody and had a large following of casual players.
It's hard to go wrong with buying a 2D Mario game. Though I kind of hate 2D Mario, I'm not gonna lie.
Pokemon Red and Blue are some of the best-selling games of all time.
How could I forget? My lifeblood Pokemon. I cannot believe I thought there would be no handhelds.
Yeah, it was to be expected that Pokemon was going to be on this list.
I feel stupid.
I think what's surprising, though, is that only one Pokemon title cracked the top 15 bestsellers, and at that, it's the first one selling.
Only one Pokemon. This is the only Pokemon on the list, huh? I'm trying to think. I would think that maybe Diamond and Pearl would have been higher selling than this. Like the Gen 4 games. That was pretty much Pokemon hype at its highest, and it was also on the DS.
Selling 31 million plus copies. Now, I'm not gonna act like I know much about
31 million? Dang, boy, dang!
Pokemon, but it's just a little surprising that no other title has gotten a bit closer to Red and Blue success. The games were released incredibly late in the original Game Boy's life. 1996 back in Japan, 1998 here in North America, and 1999 in Europe, a full 10 years after the hardware debut.
Wow, the Game Boy was around for so long. People talk about the 360 being a long-term console.
That's like a company releasing a Wii game now. Huh. Wii Sports Resort was the sequel to the game that only God knows if it'll be on this list momentarily.
He has some of the best dead air punchlines. Like, huh, wow.
Resort was an upgrade in almost every way compared to the original Wii.
I've never played this game.
Plus being bundled with the Wii Motion Plus accessory and with Wii's for a while definitely helped this game cross the 33 million mark. Mario Kart Wii, the one I disliked and now retrospectively say, that wasn't too bad.
Are new Mario Karts bad? I thought people loved Mario Kart 8. I thought that was a classic among Mario Karts. I don't really play any Mario Karts, so I have no idea. I don't like racing games.
But it was the thing back in the day, and it sold over 37 million copies. In my opinion,
37 million? It's dusting Wii Sports Resort.
the reason Mario Kart Wii attracted so many people initially was the Wii wheel.
The amount of Wii games on this list so far, there's been what, 4? Dang, Nintendo cleans up.
After the casual Wii audience saw how much not bowling felt like real bowling, hearing how Mario Kart Wii was coming out and it included an accessory that would make not driving feel like real driving, everybody was like, man, we gotta try this out. After the motion,
It included the steering wheel.
controls craze died down though, Mario Kart Wii steadily kept selling well, probably because it was the most accessible home console Mario Kart out there. Also, pack-in syndrome. So many Wii bundles included Mario Kart, including the Wii Mini.
Wii Mini? The hell is that?
Now we're talking. While it may not be at the top anymore, the fact that Super Mario Bros. Is still in the top 10 best-selling games list over 30 years after release says something about its impact
Super Mario Bros. Was number 1? That makes sense.
on the industry. Of course, pack-in syndrome harshly applied.
Yo, Nintendo has like over half of this list.
Super Mario Bros. Was the definitive pack-in title that showed off just what video games could be, and with 40 million plus of these guys lurking in the wild.
40 million, golly.
And then PUBG sold 50 million.
PUBG? Who owns this game? 50 million? Who bought this game? Who bought PUBG? I guess it was the original Battle Royale. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad, but what? I remember when it came out and everyone was hyped about it, but I don't know anyone who bought it. I don't know anyone who played it other than Dr. Disrespect.
Currently in the top 5 best-selling games of all time. Pack-in syndrome, as there was an Xbox One bundle sold.
PUBG must have been so irrelevant when the Xbox One came out. What? Is that strange? That seems strange.
Wii Sports was the reason the general population fell in love with the Wii.
This game is so fire. Oh my god. It has to be one of the best games of all time. No matter how you feel about motion controls or anything, I hate motion controls, and I still think Wii Sports is one of the best games of all time.
Well, it does have that classic pack-in syndrome as it came bundled with the Wii systems in the West the vast majority of its life. It was the driving force that got people to actually
driving, get it?
Sports included were fun, easy to understand, and impressive at the time. Selling over 82 million copies.
82 million? PUBG was just 50.
San Andreas had a good run, but then Grand Theft Auto 5 did this.
Most profitable entertainment product of all time? 90 million sales and 6 billion revenue?
The game released in 2013 for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and had potential to die hard when the PS4 and Xbox One released, but Rockstar smartly brought the game to those platforms.
I mean, it's still super relevant, right? Like role play and everything, and like online play is huge, and oh my god, this game is, yeah. It's crazy. It's been 10 years. This game has actually been out for 10 years and it's still going strong.
With 95 million plus copies sold.
Oh my god, it's sold like it's probably sold 100 million by this point, right?
Excuse me, sir, you have to talk about Minecraft again. Yep, everybody's favorite Minecraft.
Of course, Minecraft.
Regardless of your opinion of the game, you at least have to admire how successful it's been.
I mean, I've bought Minecraft like 2 or 3 times just because of necessity. I bought the beta. Am I dating myself? Dating myself, get it?
Minecraft has sold over 144 million copies as of January 2018.
That makes a lot of sense. It's 50% higher than GTA 5. Insane. That's insane. Microsoft made such a crazy good decision buying this game. Oh my god. Well, I guess it probably wouldn't have become what it is today without Microsoft, but what a smart acquisition, right?
But the overall best-selling game of all time is...
Oh, it's not number 1? Oh, it's Tetris.
Serious? You see, look up any list of the best-selling games of all time online, and you will constantly be face-to-face with the number 1 followed by Tetris, claiming that Tetris itself has shipped over 170 million copies. Well, no piss it shipped over 170 million copies because people are considering the entire Tetris franchise as one game.
Yeah, that's so interesting, right? Because Skyrim has re-released on multiple platforms. Minecraft has re-released on multiple platforms, but it's still the same game. It's still the exact same game ported across. Well, not the exact, but the framework and the general gameplay has remained similar. But Tetris, when you change it from platform to platform, they add in bonus mechanics, they add in different things. So is it really the same game? That's up for debate. And I guess he's going to go on to talk about that.
Here's my problem with this statement. Yes, there have been multi-platform versions of Tetris that are considered the same game, but on a different platform. Tetris on the NES and Game Boy is the easiest example of this. These are basically the same games on different platforms. But would you consider Tetris DS, Tetris Splash, Tetris Battle Gaiden, Puyo Puyo Tetris, or 3D Tetris to be the same game? They all have different visuals, sound design, development teams, modes, gameplay tweaks, publishers. My point is, I think it's kind of lame that the entire Tetris franchise is considered just one game in all these best-selling games of all time lists. I wonder what the people behind Tetris have to say about that. Jesus Christ, they've sold over 425 million copies of Tetris on mobile alone.
425 million copies on mobile?
So what did we learn about the best-selling games of all time today? Well, a lot of them are on the Wii, and we didn't even see a Call of Duty title. After staring at
A lot of them are on the Wii, and we didn't even see a Call of Duty, yep.
have been pack-in titles at some point. 5 of them are Wii games that sold well due to bundles, brand recognition, and fads. And Tetris being the best-selling game of all time is kinda garbage, but they decided to sell over 400 million of the non-free-to-play paid versions on mobile, so I guess I'll shut up. But coming back to the whole I will die thing, who's gonna look over my 400 copies of WePlay when I'm gone?
Coming back to the whole I will die thing, Scott the Waz signing off. What we want to do is look at the best-selling games of all time list, and let's see if it's changed very much. So this is, how far down did he go? Oh, so we have things that were not on his list because this released in 2018. It released the month after that video was made. Red Dead Redemption 2 has gone into the top 10. That's interesting. I mean, I knew that game was successful. I didn't know it was that successful. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is over Super Mario Bros. Now, which is, I brought that up during the video. That makes sense. Mario Bros. Is on the list. Pokemon Red, Green, Blue, Yellow, lumped together, but they're separate games. That's actually kind of interesting. And it's interesting that they don't have any other Pokemon on the list because lumping every version together, that gives you so many sales, right? Terraria, Wii Fit Plus. Okay, this list is a little bit different than what he had because there's a separate Tetris. There's 2 Tetrises. Animal Crossing New Horizons. So this just looks like a different source of data. But Breath of the Wild is on here. I don't think he went this far down though. So was the top 15. Human Fall Flat, Pac-Man. Interesting. All very interesting. But anyway, let me know what your favorite games are in the comments. Subscribe. Bye.